Go.
Good morning. I'm John Merrill, and I'm here to take your questions on Georgia history. Now, Mr. Smith wrote me, my students with lower than average reading scores are first intimidated by very long multi-syllable words such as disenfranchisement, which is found in SS8 H7B. As a result, my students have difficulty retaining the basic concept of these words, especially when it's time to apply these words in past or future events. Well, Mr. Smith, that's a real good question, and I think I can help you out with your students here. But I hope, first of all, I hope the students have a good knowledge about the concept of Reconstruction amendments. Now, they happened in the previous unit when we're studying the Civil War and Reconstruction. Now, the 15th Amendment, gave a chance for blacks to have a right to vote, or they were enfranchised. That's what enfranchise means, given the right to vote. But we found out after Reconstruction, when Jim Crow laws came into the South, that blacks were subjugated as second-class citizens by segregation. On the same hand, blacks were also disenfranchised, and they lost their votes, and they were also stripped of their political power in the South, which really made them very much second-class citizens, subjugated citizens. Then we're going to find out in the 1960s that all changed with the Voting Rights Act. But here I want to show you what I think might be helpful for your students is we're going to use this flyer map. Now, a lot of times you can be flexible with your flyer map, gauging on the needs of your students. And what I think we could do first is we can break down long words with prefixes, base words, and suffixes. Now, I already did this for the sake of time. I already did this for you. Now, if I have my map, I would break down this word with my students with a suffix right here, prefix here, and my base word being enfranchise. Now, enfranchise, you want to break down this word in three parts. Now, we already know that enfranchisement means to give the right to vote. But you also can maybe get some kids, and they maybe could look at the word dis. Now, we all know dis means disrespect. But dis also means reversing or having a negative effect. And then we can look up M-E-N-T, which is a lot of times in English is used to indicate a noun. So, disenfranchisement, break it in three ways. And when we use dis, and we looked up enfranchisement and meant, we would know that it's a system intended to take away one's right to vote. So that would be the definition right there. Now, our next step is we could use the methods. I already wrote these down, and they could read, they could discuss them. They discussed what the poll tax were, the grandfather clause was, literacy tests, threats, and violence were also used against them to disenfranchise them. Also, in some sense, the white primary and the county unit system in Georgia history were all used also to disenfranchise the blacks. Now, to differentiate your lesson even better, not only with their learning needs, but also I think we could do it with their interests. Now, right here is, I asked some kids to give me an artistic example. They could do that by drawing or doing a cartoon, maybe doing a poem, a haiku, maybe doing some short song lyrics, or even a short little article about what happened to them, or a journal entry. And of course, you talked about the kids have a hard time connecting the past, present, and future. Well, maybe we could put this on here and talk about past, present, and future. Now, I already talked about the past. The 15th Amendment enfranchised blacks and all citizens of the United States. Then came Jim Crow, which in our case here, we're talking about the present when we're talking about the New South, where it disenfranchised blacks. And then also, by the time of the 1960s, we can all connect this because now they are re-enfranchised both by the Voting Rights Act. I hope this is going to be very helpful. Remember, we break down the word using prefixes, base word, and suffixes. You want to maybe give some examples of what it was about. Maybe give them some choice, where they can express themselves and maybe be creative and use their imagination. and also connecting past, present, and future. I hope that's helpful. Thank you very much.